Kick it. Okay. All right, everybody. Pedro's just going to shred us into the nothingness. Very good.
There we go.
Very nice. All right. Thank you, buddy. So welcome to the Ginge and Pedro show, everybody, episode 29. We have alongside me, of course, Pedro Ang, the multi-talented over here, just shredding our ears off first thing in the morning.
Who got carried away. Yeah, sorry about that.
All good. Yep. We have a really interesting guest today, Arman Nasim. He's got a really broad range of creative talents, and he's also got a book out on Kickstarter. So we'll be going over all that, getting to know the man behind the myth that will be one day. We'll have a myth about you. Maybe Pedro can sort of write a soliloquy.
Yeah. I'm not a writer.
So without further ado, though, boom, Arman.
Hey, what's up, Arman?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
If there's a guy that defines big mensch energy, this guy over here.
That's a thing, sort of be a mensch, and it hit me last night. I was like, big mensch energy. Let's do it.
So let's just say his BME count is strong.
It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
All four.
So,
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm all.
I don't think I do either, really.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Don't worry.
At the very least. Okay, cool. So, buddy, let's just get right into it, man. Tell us about yourself. You know, what got you into being a creator?
So I was always a storyteller. I think I was a poet in high school, and then I in college, jumped into short films and storytelling and screenwriting and things like that. And because the pandemic hit, I just had so much creative energy, and and then at that time it was like I just had to put it somewhere, and then it was comic books. I kind of really got into independent comics at that time. And, I stepped away from the big two. I was like super excited. It was really actually Monstrous and a few of the others, Something to the Children, Invisible Kingdom. And I saw what was possible. And I was like, there's really no limits in this, form of storytelling in comics. So I jumped right in. And, I think it's been like over a year now. I've been making comics and I've been sitting on a lot of projects. And now it's finally the time to, push it all out there. So this is the big year to kind of, build that audience and get some books out.
Awesome, dude.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what was your sort of the first? How did you come across it on YouTube? Are you Comicsgate? Are you sort of adjacent? I mean, we don't specify here. We have people that are or aren't. It doesn't matter. But just how did you find indie comics specifically?
Comics. I mean, specifically, I actually just saw Kickstarter. As a viable option. And it was, I didn't even actually know Indiegogo was an option until I launched in January. That was my first Kickstarter. I did a lot of research on the first few big successes I saw were, Charlie Stickney on Kickstarter with his, White Ash and a couple others like him. And, I thought like, oh man, I can probably, do that. And that's something I kind of want to do as well and get to that level. So it's, and then I've been seeing a lot of other success stories on Kickstarter. Jumped it, and then I learned all about Indiegogo, after I launched my campaign, and I'm trying to, launch there as well. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, like I've already worked in Arman on something that's not out yet. But all I can say, like he's bringing the right energy to it. Like, dude, very open, very like, dude, the process was very, let's say, non-abrasive. Which is something in creative endeavors, it's really hard to find people that are just smooth to work with. And dude, Arman is one of them. So dude, this is my boy here. This is my book.
Oh man, thanks, Pedro. I appreciate that, and you do amazing work as well. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
Everybody's sending everybody to Pedro. Yeah.
So now comes the questions. Why are we here for?
I've got a new, Kickstarter book out, a new comic book on Kickstarter called Genetic Superiority. It's a sci-fi story that is very grounded, and it's it's about 3 separate factions, in a futuristic society on Earth that kind of have to decide, they're forced or they're, thrust onto an incoming apocalypse that they believe is almost like a ticking time bomb. This apocalypse is coming, and they have to decide what the best way to move forward is or how to survive. And, there's three different thoughts of how to survive. One of them is to, go back to basics, go back to being a purist, right?
Yeah.
And the second thought process is combining, your genetic DNA with animals and becoming more animal-like. Maybe that's the best way forward to survive. And then the third way is to meld your body with robotic parts and machinery to become more cyborg or more like a machine. And we call those the robotics. So
Nice.
the separate factions that are vying for power amidst this chaos of an apocalypse.
So dude, mutants, katanas, and cybernetics. I'm loving everything.
Yeah,
Dude. A little bit of everything. Really, really good, man. Really. So you're the writer on this one?
yes, of course.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And who's the team?
So if you go all the way down, the team's all there. But we've got, Jared's also co-writing with me and lettering.
Okay.
Very nice.
Then you've got the main artist, line artist is Brian Mini.
Nice.
On colors, we got Giorgio and Tiziana. So they're like the coloring team.
Tiziana. You work with
Very
Tiziana
nice.
in other projects, right? I think.
No, Tiziana is the first one. Yeah.
I've seen her somewhere. I don't know.
She's, her and Giorgio are, up and coming in the indie world. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome, dude. So, okay, can you tell us a little bit more about the story? Who's the protagonist? What angle are we taking here?
Yeah. So the easiest way, because it does like, circle into a crazier story, but the best way to kind of see it for the first time through the eyes of the reader is through our main character, who's a purist, and he is in this pure society of very back to basics, rooted down. It looks like medieval almost, and he's kind of gonna go out into the wasteland and now see the world for the first time, just like the viewers or the readers are going to. So makes it a good reader surrogate character, and also he is what they believe is the chosen one for the pure society to now set off and solve the prophecy to stop the apocalypse and save the world. So that's
it would be right if I say that this page that Ginge is on, like I hear a Japanese flute.
Yes.
Like in the background as he's getting like the katana, like this is your task, but like dude, very well executed.
Yeah, so I was just thinking that seems to be one of the best parts of most post-apocalyptic worlds, is that you get to openly carry a katana with no shame whatsoever.
Yeah.
In fact, you're kind of like, oh, that dude's fucking badass. He's got a sword.
Yeah.
A sword. Yes.
Yeah, with no problem of cultural appropriation or whatever. It's like, no, I have a katana.
Yeah, because if you do it today in most places, you look like a lunatic, which I think is kind of a shame. So.
Yeah, so that sword, it got some genetic humor going on. So it's called Splicer. And it can cut through anything. It's made of pure diamond, and it can cut through anything. So nice sword, it's the purest, like their trophy, basically their trophy sword, and they've now handed it over to their chosen.
And he earned it. Nice.
Yes, he earned it. Yes.
Yeah, we see a little bit of abandonment here. Nice.
Yep.
Do some foraging.
Cool. First wasteland.
Was that a squirrel meal?
Yes, it was.
Nice. Dude, I'm loving this project, man. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, people always will make a mistake and put like a burger in his hand or whatever. Like, no, this is foraging. This is squirrels are in the menu.
Definitely.
I hate squirrels.
So, could you talk a little bit about some of the inspiration for this? Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, it's most close to The Walking Dead, Fallout, the video game series, Black Mirror.
Yes.
And I first got the idea from, I saw like a political satire. It was like one of those, comic strips, online comic strips. And it was about like a government setting, like in a council meeting or Senate meeting. and none of the humans could decide because they were all arguing, and they basically gave all the power over to robots to decide for them because their thought process was that robots won't argue, they'll do whatever's best for everyone, right? But but then it's like, what does that actually mean? Are people going to just give away all their freedom and thoughts and decision making power to a robot? Like, it's kind of crazy. Maybe if that's the only way that people can agree, that's the best. It'll have the most efficient outcome. So then kind of spiraled, in my mind as to what does the future of humanity look like? Is it something like that? And I wanted to actually go and show there's actually different options. Probably there's 3 different options I saw. That it's not just this futuristic robot society. Maybe there's something more to it. There's more to being more animal-like, or there's more to being more pure human and going back.
Yeah, dude. I love the character of the purist. He's giving me a lot of like Miyamoto Musashi vibes. Like the greatest swordsman in Japan who became like a vagrant just because like he was so powerful, like nobody can beat me. I'm looking for the guy who's gonna beat me, and he died of old age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like he's giving me like he has that is stoic like facade to him. So dude, very very cool.
Okay.
All right, so these are the 3 parties here.
Yes, those are the 3 in the parties, and you can see all of them there. You got the purest
really
range.
nice composition, man.
They're not really the main characters, but the 3 biggest characters, and they each represent the 3 factions that are gonna fight the leaders maybe of each of them.
Say hello to the chat real quick. We got some friends here. Always happy to see Neo Star Productions. What's up, buddy? With the best intros in the business over here. Past Master Dan, bringing his doobs with him. Good man.
Yeah.
He says to you, "You're growing on me, Arman. You've got good pitch skills."
Thank you, man. Thank you.
There you go, buddy. So, could you talk a little bit about the society that not the purists, but the other 2? Do they live in cities like the rep? We see the reptile here. Is it like a full reptile city, or do they mix, or how does that work?
Yeah. So like a raccoon guy.
So they have 3 kind of like, so when he was born in Eden, and he was raised in Eden, which was the pure society, and it's like a closed off like small city basically. And these are the 3 like congregations, I would say, and they're relatively close to each other, but not too close. And it's like it is spread out across a wasteland. And so there's like 1, 2, and 3. And these are the main cities that kind of grew, after this, in this pre-apocalyptic society, and it's based on their ideologies, and their societies that they separated on their ideas that they wanted to, really scientific breakthrough, what they wanted to do and work on. So they all congregated into these communities, and then he is going to now, venture into these cities, because that's part of, his call to action and his quest and his mission given to him, is to now go to these cities, retreat, because each of the 3 has a piece of the prophecy. So there's 3 pieces of the prophecy, and they need this prophecy to kind of decode and figure out how to solve the apocalypse and survive it, and save the world, really. So now he has to go and retrieve these other 2 by any means necessary, the other 2 pieces of the prophecy, and return to his home of Eden.
Dude, like I really love the fact that it's not really an apocalypse, but the promise of one.
Yes.
That set all this in motion. So this is all driven by fear.
Yes.
I love it. I love this. It's a really nice concept, because this is kind of like the world we're living right now. We're living on the promise of dying of a disease, of dying in a nuclear holocaust ball. But,
severe winter of illness and death.
Yeah. It's very, very modern without being preachy or being like in your face. Like, this is Russia and Ukraine. Like, no, not really. It's just like a fantasy. But it's really telling of our state of mind, man. Great job, man. Great job. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very nice. So let's play this trailer here we got going.
Yeah, let's do it.
In the distant future, an ancient prophecy foretelling the end of the world begins to unfold, marked by the explosion of a dying star. Humanity has split into 3 new species of people, each believing that they are the next evolution, destined to survive the coming apocalypse. What does the future of humanity look like? The purist community of Eden names a stoic warrior called Wynn as their chosen one, tasked with collecting the remaining pieces of the prophecy from their rival societies, the Animalists and the Robotics. Wynn travels through the wasteland on an extraordinary journey to save the world. Along the way, he'll encounter memorable characters, astonishing creatures, and unravel the mystery of genetic superiority.
Hi, everyone. My name's Arman Nasim, and I'm the writer of Genetic Superiority.
Hi, I'm Jared Shinigo, writer and letterer of Genetic Superiority.
Hi, my name is Brian Sini. I am the artist in Genetic Superiority.
Hi everyone, my name is Giorgio Rosasfo and I am the colorist of Genetic Superiority.
Hi guys, this is Tiziana Menale. My role in Genetic Superiority is making flat for all the pages.
I hope you enjoy this comic.
Always happy to see another Ginger out there doing the Lord's work.
For nothing. That's the Ginger Revenge. That's Genetic Superiority right there. They're making a comeback.
They're trying for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So who did your
so
trailer and the voiceover work? Who was that?
Jared actually did that.
Nice.
Yeah. So me and Jared.
Nice.
Jared is actually editor for all of our short films and YouTube channels. So he just threw it all together.
Very nice. We got Sugar Chris in the chat. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Sugar Chris?
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
Pops
dude.
Van Zant. What's up, Pops? It was good to see you.
Pops.
There's an open draw stream at 1 p.m. today, Pedro.
Yeah, I've been called out.
Bitch. Okay. So, how's what's your thoughts? What are your feelings on the project? I mean, is there going to be a well, before I mix two questions, just I was reading there that the book it's all complete. So I mean, you're essentially done with it and just getting ready to print.
Yes.
How are you feeling, buddy? What are your thoughts on it?
I'm feeling good about it. I would feel better if we got over the 50% line of funding. But it's always one of those things that I learned from my first campaign that it's it's an uphill climb, but you just gotta be patient and you wait until the end. It's too early to tell,
Yeah, be in the grind, man. Be in the grind. You're doing the right thing. Get on shows, promote, help other people promote, because that goodwill goes a long way. And dude, you're coming with solid products. So yeah, just keep at it, man. Keep at it.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep get this one funded, and then of course move on to the next one. And this one is planned 5-issue miniseries. It has an ending, the story, and we worked backwards. So we came up with the ending and then kind of worked our way backwards. So how do we get there? Because it's a good ending.
Yeah.
We just have to get there.
Very smart.
And yeah, so it's all the beats are written out. We're already up to the 3rd issue. The artwork of the 3rd issue is currently being done. Issue 2 is just got to be lettered and just finishing that, wrapping that up. But yeah, this is something that can maybe finish this year, and then hopefully if it funds, then we'll kind of keep doing it every few months, launching the next issue, and then we can kind of get it out there.
Very nice, buddy.
So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident about it.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Could you tell us a little bit about this chick right here?
Absolutely.
What's her
So
deal?
that is one of the animalists, and she is kind of the main animalist character that's going to be in this story. She's her genetic her genetic mutation was with outproduced like a chameleon, genetics. So she's able to kind of transform. She's actually one of the few ones that are able to transform between, look like a human, because otherwise all other animalists, they look.
That was the question I had.
Yeah, they
look. Sorry.
Yeah, they look like animals, and then she is able to. She's like she gets to choose, really. More so, even like with our main character, he doesn't actually know these other. He's only been taught one way of thinking. So he's never actually branched out. So now he's going to learn about these other things, and she's also conflicted, and he's conflicted. So she can transform into different backgrounds as well and blend in with the backgrounds like a chameleon. So
very nice. Pedro's had to mute himself for the fishmonger. That's pretty much like clockwork every Sunday around this time.
That's the fishmonger's son.
Okay.
Because the fishmonger is dead.
You got to admire them keeping it in the business, though, the family
Yeah.
business. There's something to that.
Oh man, Shadowhawks, what's up?
Yep, we got Shadowhawks. Who else came by? Ashen
Fishmonger
Jackal. Always another film guy.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So let's talk a little bit about you, because if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was looking at your website, and there's quite a lot of interesting stuff on there. And let's see if I can bring that up.
I just remade my website, particularly because I wanted to do all my digital fulfillment through my own website. So I set that up now, because I was like, oh, what do I need from it? And I was like,
so you're setting up like a store directly on your.
Yes.
Awesome.
I created this just last 2 weeks ago. I was like, I need this. I don't want to go through somebody else's digital fulfillment. I'll just do my own.
Was that like the main decision behind that? Like, how much thought did you like? How long were you thinking on that before you decided to?
I wanted to switch my my website around for a while, and then again, it was like one of those things where I had to fulfill it. I think early February, the digital copy, or like 2 weeks ago. Whenever I submit, I sent out all the digital PDFs, and I was like, I don't want to do, I can do this. I can do the exact same thing these websites are doing, except drive traffic to my own site and maybe promote my other books. And it was also a little easier because I could just give somebody a code, and they can always go on my website and download it and have a copy on their library on their account. So it was just something that was I didn't have to keep worrying about. I could just send one person out a code and it will never expire. Versus like the different types of options available to me currently.
So, do you plan on continuing running campaigns in the future, or are you sort of building your name up now, and the plan is to switch everything just to your website eventually?
No, I think. Well, I don't know if that'll work. How big that my audience would get, but I'm definitely for this year, committed to Kickstarters. I'm trying to do one every month. So it's going well so far, and we're on track. So let's see what happens. But definitely, not out of the question. I just think the potential for crowdfunding, and I've seen people do people doing it for years and been building up their fan base and being successful.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, we have to take into account that the tools are evolving. Because right now, like Kickstarter is allowing you to use their their tools directly on your website. I don't know if Indigo is going to answer with something clearly like that. Like I think Shopify is trying to get that. So the crowdfunding itself is changing. So this is a really good step you're taking here, because you're making like, okay, this is the stop for any Arman.
Yes.
Any Arman joint.
Yeah.
This is your one stop. So yeah, you're a step ahead, man.
Yeah, definitely. Always future thinking here, Pedro. You know me.
Yes, that's sort of what I was getting at. Was that there's always like a new conversation every couple of weeks, within the community of, which, whatever thing or another. And that sort of seems to be the way some people are heading. Not everybody all at once, but there's like a couple people that have already started doing that. So I actually just thought that was, pretty, I guess, forward thinking. So my hat's off to you, friend.
Thanks.
Don't you see, he's smiling at his website. He's just smiling though. Like, yeah, I'm ahead of all of you.
Yeah. The happy guy. All right, very cool. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so let's talk about some of your other projects here then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are these available? Can I buy any of these?
Yeah, well, so Lost Magic is available on my website. I just launched my campaign for it, and it was funded, and now it's starting to go out to a few shops, retail shops, but mostly it was Kickstarter.
Nice.
And I'm going to start taking it to conventions this year. My first one's next month. Yeah, and just trying to get more of the book out there. But you can definitely buy it online, or if you want to wait until Lost Magic Season 2 comes out on Kickstarter, you can obviously get the first copy as well.
Oh, I thought I was sharing it. I clicked it. It took me to a Kickstarter page. Okay, yeah. All right. Yes. I just kind of actually the book itself looks pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, I think if you go up to, I think it's somewhere on my website. I think it's the shop, and then you can see it in the shop.
Okay, Bassmaster Dan is bringing a very good point, because Lost Magic is still aware of this potential crossover gem, because Phil Diaz has Magic Cop. So I don't know, those two stories could
Let's do it. Yeah, give me Phil's info. I'll reach out.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to get you in contact with Phil. I mean, he's doing really cool things. You got the Lost Pages and Magic Cop, and dude, those campaigns are doing really well in Indiegogo. Shout out to the Diaz brothers, the fucking Diaz brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, that's from Scarface. I
Very
actually
nice.
love the guys. Yeah, but yeah, dude, Lost Magic. I saw this project like you were showing this project on some stream like
that's where we met. That's where we first met.
Yeah, exactly.
On
Love the art.
XP, but yeah, Billy Tucci and Niall Scala. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. I actually want to share the page because the art is it's quite.
It's very interesting, and I love the colors, man.
Yes.
All right.
It took a while to put it, everything to fall into place here because it was so hard to find a good colorist to color over the sketchy line art and the abstract.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy the way it turned out, and the team behind it is really incredible. And everybody says it. Everybody looks at the art, and they're it's definitely something different as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
check that out, guys.
In all my projects.
Very nice, buddy. So is this an ongoing series as well?
Yes. So this is season 1. And there's gonna there'll be a new season every 2 months or so. But right now, as a plan, it's 6 seasons. But it really is an open sandbox for anybody who's interested in or knows about this story at all. This first comic book in these 32 pages, there's 20 main characters. So it's one of those things that there's lots to do, and it's all about choices and decisions and kind of how everybody reacts to the main action is that magic begins dying and disappearing in a world bursting with magic. So now they all have to decide what they want to do and how to move forward.
Very cool.
The thing is, it's a very bright palette, but it's not jarring because it matches the line work, dude. I mean, this is superb job here.
Babe with the sword. Can't argue with that.
As always. And a Triceratops.
Yes, and a pet Triceratops.
The last one in existence. They're not extinct. There's one right there.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the cooler things I've seen this week. A pet Triceratops baby.
Yeah.
That's fun. Okay, what is this? What are we looking at here?
Is the most powerful monster theme is a changeling. He is able to change into into different forms, to kind of haunt you or to kind of change his powers, from day to night and from time to time. So you'll never know he's coming because he's a new form every time.
Jeez.
Man. Okay. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the team here. So how did you meet up with Jared on your other project? Let's sort of.
Oh, me and Jared were freshman roommates in college. So we've been making short films together for a while and doing different film stuff together. And then we just decided to kind of do a comic book together as well. So
your background is film then?
Sure. I would say my background is everything. I'm as a writer, I feel like I can write lots of things. But then and then I have a business background as well. And then now I'm kind of trying to move into the more the comedy and the comic space and stuff.
Awesome,
like that.
Dude. Awesome. Dude, yeah, the things like I've noticed, like you're very prolific because you have, I don't know, I'm counting 4 books, but they could be more.
There are, there are more, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Don't. That's why I'm being very careful with my questions. I know things, guys. But I want you to just like let people know at your pace. But dude, like as I've said, like this is the 3rd time I said, like keep your eye on Arman because this guy is going places, man. He's got stuff coming right on top of each other, and you'll be thoroughly entertained without nobody dying. Like this is not Gladiator.
Could you talk a little bit about your film experience? We've had a couple other film guys in here before. Ashton Jackal's one. It was in the chat earlier.
The No Mina link.
Yes.
It'll just take you to the YouTube channel, and then I can kind of just walk. Yeah. So this is just a few of the other projects I've done. One of them was like a sitcom, like a reimagining of The Office. With Steve Carell.
All right. Love that show.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And and then there's there was like almost like a play we wrote, and then there was a film play I'm saying down there, and then there's short films that were about one is silent, one's a silent short film. Yeah, just all different things about it could be
Mhm.
romance, thriller, fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that work in progress. It's probably the biggest thing, and probably the one that had the best reaction because people love comedy, and that was kind of the first real pilot episode we did. It was almost 30 minutes or something. So
right on, bro.
So
film is an interest of mine as well. That's like my long shot dream, sort of like 10 years down the road. I'd love to direct my own movie, but yeah, I mean, there seems to be a lot of crossover with comic book writers and or even sometimes artists as well. Which makes sense. It's actually one of it comes up on this show a couple times, but something that always blows my mind is when I think about how like the original Addams Family, like they weren't even really strips, although I think they called them strips. It's just like the illustrations.
It was just one illustration with a little caption underneath.
Yeah, that came out in like I think the 20s is when maybe when the Addams Family started.
Yeah,
and it wasn't long after that. Maybe I don't know how many, maybe what the Addams Family came out. I guess like 30 years or so. But it's always interesting to me how long Hollywood has taken from comic books, and I don't mean taken in any sort of negative way, but it is an interesting.
No,
my dog's making noise.
And I'm seeing this, and I didn't know this, but a lot of comics get optioned, whether or not they get made. Like I would say, like a good amount of them get optioned into.
They get optioned to be archived.
Yeah,
their digs. Yeah, the sense I would go back into film, but I've noticed like through the ages that I hate big groups of people. I just get exasperated, and like I can't do it. Like I can do storyboards for everybody. But whenever it's like, hey, let's go have lunch, and it's like more than 12, I'm like, to go home. So yeah, hey, dude, kudos to you, and I'm glad you can do it. So,
did you find did you find transitioning from film to writing comic books, was that pretty smooth, or did you have any difficulty with that?
Me, no, because the way because I also saw a lot of like animated and cartoons, so I kind of understood like that's kind of always how I think anyways. But yeah, I think that was the biggest problem was, or the biggest hurdle was making sure that, sequential storytelling was the way, it was more about panel layouts and, it feels like continuous, and you're not telling every single second. You're telling, certain moments in time.
Exactly.
In time, and to tell that story. So yeah, so that was, one of the things that I learned how to do. I had to learn, but that was basically it. Otherwise, the things about dialogue and character building, that all stayed the same, and keeping the reader hooked, or viewer hooked at all times. Yeah, that all kind of stayed the same.
So, what were some? I can tell you're a big fan of video games. I kind of got that feeling from like the different, basically almost like skill trees from genetic superiority. What were some of your biggest video game influences growing up?
Oh, so many. Assassin's Creed, I played a lot. Halo. Man, I played so many games, but I would say that the one, I actually play a lot of wrestling games too. So so I would say, Fable was huge back in the day. I would play those games 1, 2, and 3. I love those RPG games. Open world, those were huge. Those were probably the ones I spent the most time in. Red Dead Redemption, I remember, was a big one.
Yeah, back in the day, wrestling games, dude, I loved the WWE games on PlayStation 2 era. That was the jam. And it was like, it was a weekend thing. My best friend would come over and we would I'll be honest, man, I'm pretty sure we killed Kurt Angle one day. Cause like we did a Hell in the Cell match. And it was like 2 versus 1. And we just beat Kurt Angle to like, his full character was red and he just stopped getting up. And we're like, he's not moving anymore. We spent like 2 hours on it.
Yeah. I think they made SmackDown versus Raw or something. 2008.
You crippled him.
Yeah, like I mean, they usually just will lay there after you beat them up pretty good. I mean, we were we were like 14 and just sadistic teenagers.
This is a very serious question. Do you have time to play games today? nowadays?
Me or
Yeah,
me?
anyone.
Not so much. Not so much anymore for me.
Yeah,
But
dude.
what about you? Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
opened games up my ass. Like I stopped playing games because I bought 10 games I haven't played yet.
Mm.
And as I said,
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm not doing this anymore.
It's tough. I got the new Avengers game. I wanted to play it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I didn't get past like the first 2 missions, or
Yeah.
something. I think I'm like the level
Me either,
mission
buddy.
3 or
Me either.
something. And
Dude, I bought the Dungeons and Dragons 3 game just because I'm a big fan of the Ethelite and the Mind Flayer. Like that's my favorite like D&D character. I was like, oh, Mind Flayers! And I just played like 20 minutes of the game. I was like, oh, I got stuff to do.
yeah, no, that's
So yeah, man,
that's what it is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I actually played the same thing happened to me. I just downloaded it off of Game Pass. Like it depends. Like for me, it depends. I only play video games when I'm playing Call of Duty with my best friend who moved to Orlando. And it's basically the only way we still keep in touch. But his Xbox broke like a month ago, so I pretty much stopped playing video games when I started writing comics. And like I said, I only play with him. But since he's he doesn't have an Xbox at this point in time, it's just been like, well, I mean, I have not played a single game, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal. Sugar Chris, you think you can kill Kurt Angle? He's the Olympic gold medalist. He broke his freaking neck. No, I like Kurt Angle as a human being, and also I watched that match. I wrestled in middle and high school a little bit, and yeah, it's I like wrestling, and he's just was an easy guy to make fun of though back in the day. That's all we would do. We would just beat up him and like JBL. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Hey,
Okay.
come on, dude. That's fun.
Okay, so tell us about this other book you got here. You got three projects, not unlovable.
Not
What do we got
unlovable.
here?
So this one is actually a weekly webtoon, and one is the new. It updates every Monday with a new page, and we're gonna collect this at the end, early next year, maybe at the end of this year, like January or something, 2023, and we're gonna run a Kickstarter for a full graphic novel kind of collected edition of the entire webcomic. And it's basically just like another target, a different audience market, maybe just kind of way to kind of promote and get their attention. And
yes.
What's your experience with webtoon? Because that's the thing. Like old guys like me and most of the indie guys I'm surrounded myself with are really afraid of weavery. But I know they call it like weavery, but it's just like they're afraid because they don't understand webtoons. So can you give me like a little bit a hint of how you navigate how it works?
Did you say weavery? What did you say?
Yeah, weavery, as in that's for weaves. That's for people who like anime.
Weavery.
But it's basically a coping mechanism because they don't understand webtoons.
Yeah. I agree. I was the same. I didn't really understand webtoons until I started going through the webtoons, and it's like it's definitely a different style, and it's not like regular comic books. There's a vertical scroll a lot of times, and the character and pacing is a lot different, even the bubble placements. But it's what it does. It's branching out to a new audience, and it has a high fan base because of what it does. It makes it very accessible and easy for people to kind of digest information, and very fast as well. You can go through like my entire thing right now in maybe like a few minutes, and then jump on to the next webtoon that's related to it or something like that. And people, can just keep scrolling through these things, and it's something that I found myself doing. I was like, oh, this is why people spend so much time on it, because it's just so easy. So I definitely want to kind of get on there, and it's just look like, I mean, I already have like how many views, like 1,300 views or something, and it's, that's something cool. 91 subscribers. And there's only like I think
Congrats,
7 pages out there.
Congrats, man.
So
and is there anything in the way of promotion to get like your webtoon on people's eyes, or that's something that happens organically?
Happens organically, yeah. Nothing. I've not done anything. I'm gonna do the big push for this, at cons mostly. Just so people can, if they don't want to buy my book, you can get a free webtoon, and then you can, if you're a fan, hopefully you'll be a fan by it, because you can read it every after there's 2 pages out, then you'll buy the collected edition. When we launch that, hardcover Kickstarter.
I can kind of see that working, honestly, in terms of like if you don't, with webtoons being free, it's like you can still give people an opportunity to try your writing out and find something that they like. Do you have plans for other webtoon series? Is this a platform you see yourself building out?
I do. Not to say too much of Pedro, for that project we were working on, we're going to do a simplified webtoon.
Exactly. What you were telling me, like, go ahead. Sorry.
Just to kind of run alongside it, in between issues 1 and 2 of that project, just to have people somewhere that people keep updated and excited about and anticipating the next one. Yeah. And it's going to be, something different and, and fun as well. So I'm excited for that.
So yeah, like I can see like using webtoons to show like abridged versions of your comic book.
Yeah.
Like maybe more simple, more like digest. Like if you want to know more, buy the damn book or buy the digital copy or buy, like the trade. So yeah. I think it's making more sense to me right now because they're like, yeah, you put it there for free and people read it. I was like, I'm going hungry over here. How does this work?
Yes, my girlfriend, she reads a lot of webtoons. She reads comics as well. Like pretty much whatever I put in front of her, she reads. She grew up reading manga as well. But webtoons is something that she will spend a lot of time on scrolling through. I've tried a few. I've tried nothing that I could think of, just like a few scrolls. I do personally have an idea for a webtoon I'd like to try. Just for myself, I'm a big Rurouni Kenshin fan, so I've got an idea for like a Scarlet Samurai. That's what I'm calling it now, just a redheaded samurai, ginger thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be something that it's just nice to see other people, trying it out as well. I like the idea of basically giving somebody something that they can get for free, I guess. I mean,
for free, they become fans of yours, and then that's and that way
they made Afro Samurai with Sam Jackson. You can make the Red Blade with Ed Sheeran or something. Like, yes, let's bring Gingers back. I totally support this movement.
For this one in particular, Mark, if you want to go in the first page, you'll kind of see that. That this actually is not a proper webtoon. I did it. I formatted it for comic pages just so I didn't have to reformat it when it when it comes time at the very end. It's already in page format, and panels like that. So that's definitely something you can just kind of do, and then again collect it later and sell the book.
Very nice, buddy.
Yeah.
So, and then you have there, kind of cartoon version.
Okay. Always got to have that. Love a good cartoon version of yourself. A friend of mine drew us a card, Jake Twister's episode.
Yes. I remember
a cartoon version of me. It's fun. Nice, buddy. So I get the sense that you make a lot of decisions very business forward thinking as well. Like you kind of maybe even created this one to be collected. That's what you had mentioned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, my background is business, and I'm trying to turn this into something that's profitable, and I'm definitely always thinking about the best way to do that, and absolutely.
Very nice, man.
Yeah. To the point Bestmaster Dan is making, like I said, weebrick is that's what old guys say. And it's like, why don't you have a webtoon? Like that's for weebs. But I mean, I don't see it as weebrick. Like it's another vehicle to get your stories out. The thing is, like, I'm really interested in see, like, is it something you actually aim to monetize, or it's just more of a, I don't know, like advertising vehicle.
It's both. Well, Pedro, if I at the end of it, when I have 200 pages, then I'll sell the collected version, exactly. And it goes on. And if there's already a fan base there, say there's 100 subscribers now or fans, it can grow. It'll grow over time, rapidly, exponentially, snowball. And if I can get, just a percentage of those to go over to the Kickstarter, buy the book, then, those are actually the best performing ones on Kickstarter. I think Check Please, I don't know if you guys know that one on Kickstarter. It's like one of the top 5, highest grossing because, I think it was almost like $500,000 simply because he put it out in webtoon format.
Yeah, I see. And as opposed to a digital copy, this is not formatted by the book. So once you get the book or the digital copy, it's a different product.
Yes.
So, okay, cool.
Also,
the Legos are falling.
Yeah. Also, Webtoons has a it like decreases the quality, so it's not like full HD. But then you can offer the PDF on the Kickstarter for full HD, and times that's the best selling because people like the PDF, in one PDF instead of scrolling through Webtoons and in like medium definition. So
we actually have a good question here, and this was something I thought of earlier, but I won't take the credit for it. Shadowhawk asks, do you plan on running an Indiegogo as well as a Kickstarter?
Shadowhawk keeps asking me this. No, he's a big fan, so I love it. But I am planning on it. I'm gonna talk with Neff at Aaron Neff Global Frequency Studios on Wednesday.
Shout out to the Global Frequency.
Good people.
Yep. Because I want to turn that leap. They were telling me there's a button I can do. I haven't found this button. But I'm trying to definitely move my Kickstarter over to Indiegogo or launch on Indiegogo. I kind of want to game plan it with them a little bit more because I know they've had some really good success doing it.
I think I have seen that, where some I don't remember which one it was, but I think I have seen like somebody's funds where like it mentions like how much they had made on Indiegogo. I think it was on Kickstarter. It must have been on Kickstarter. But yeah. Dan says I have like 5 books of Calvin and Hobbes, Strips collection, Calvin and Hobbes. That was the shit, man.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is actually a really good point in terms of the way I don't know, shit about science or anything like that in terms of like the way people's minds have kind of been quote unquote gamified with like the continuous scroll, not even like before Webtoons, but more just like Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds and all that. There probably is some sort of wires being crossed there with
but I mean, James, if you read Piaget and the Constructivist, no, I'm not sure.
Okay, thanks, Pedro.
Sorry, that was too easy.
All right, very, very deep and interesting this morning.
Yeah,
good stuff, buddy. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it. And actually, my girlfriend and I were at we were at Books A Million probably like a month or so ago, and we bumped across whatever's one of the better selling webtoons where it's I don't know, it's got like a blue and a red character. I forget the name, but somebody collected a big omnibus of that, and I think Netflix did a show of it as well, something like that.
I think that that cute cartoon like nature of them it somehow attracts people more than the standard comic book fans. I think like even like what I'm saying is lay people are more attracted to those cartoon like
character designs.
Designs. Not really. So you're really attracting like more fans and expanding your your fan base immediately just by running something like a webtoon or if you print that out, people will be more drawn to that, I imagine, than just a regular comic book.
Yeah,
probably.
I like it. Okay, very cool. I like your business mind, buddy. I kind of I'm just gonna keep my eye on you and maybe copy some of your decisions. We'll see.
I don't want to say it again, but I told you.
Okay, so very nice though. Back to genetic superiority.
Yes,
here.
Yeah.
This is what we're here for.
Yep.
The reason for the season, genetic
on
superiority.
Yep, we're about halfway there.
Yes.
So does Kickstarter have an extension option? Do you know?
They do not have an extension option.
They do not have it.
I'll tell you what, though, buddy. If this, I'm sure it will fund within these next 8 days. But if it doesn't, would you take it to Indiegogo? Do you think you would? I'm pretty sure you would. You'd at least have the extension option there. So I mean,
if it, I'm definitely looking at all these options. And I'll move it to Indiegogo if this fails on Kickstarter 100%. I think, and just launch it there. Um, but I would like to definitely get this funded on Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly.
And then either way, if it funds or not funds, then I can move it over as well. But I think there's we reached a lot of this on the first day, so there was a lot of returning ones from Lost Magic.
Very
So I'm
nice.
kind of people that didn't have for day one of Lost Magic. It's kind of funny how it turns out, because I had no fans when I launched my first one January 3rd, and then this time I had people I had like 20 people come on day one. So then it kind of entered that dead zone afterwards, and then now I'm hoping as we ramp up into the last week, which is going to be this week, it'll kind of get a nice.
Can we see the tiers of the campaign?
Yeah.
Let me. How do you? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Alrighty.
So
okay. So yeah, could you kind of just go over them for us?
Yeah, for sure. So by the way, that's the Virgin variant cover on the left there. So we talked. That's the chameleon like animalist character. So the $5 tier will get you digital copy. $10 tier will get you the just a copy of the main book, physical copy signed, of course, by me and Jared. And then if you go down Hero of Eden, you'll get both the art print and the physical copy of the book. $20 gets you the digital copy of everything. It's like a digital special. You basically get all the content digitally. And then for $25, you can get the physical copy of the variant cover. So that's the variant cover. And again, this variant is limited. We're only printing 100 out of them. So Virgin variant. It's very cool, and it's gonna be numbered on the front as well. So it'll be one of 50 or one of 100 or whatever.
Very nice.
Very nice, man. Guys, if you like what you see, it's very accessible.
Okay.
It's like the normal prices for indie comics right now, dude. I mean, the project looks awesome. I will never get tired of saying it, dude. And you deserve to be funded. So, guys, get on this.
Get on it.
Get on it.
And I'll I think you were saying, Mark, that you'll keep robbing me. Absolutely, I'd love to keep coming back on your show. Every month or every few weeks.
Who's Mark? Oh, Ginge. Oh, sorry.
Me.
Ginge.
It's all right.
Guys,
it's cool. When that South Park episode came out about the gingers or whatever, where Kyle turned Cartman into a ginger, that's pretty much when my life changed, and I hardly ever hear the name Mark, so it is strange to hear.
I mean, he tells me, call me Ginge. Like, I don't know who this Mark fellow is.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very cool. And this is the art print that comes along with
Yes.
It started at the $15 tier, right?
Yep, everything above the $15 tier gets one, I believe. So
very nice. Sweet.
And then at the very bottom, I think at the Robotic Good 50, you get everything, the entire package of all the physical books.
Yes.
But if you go, including the black and white, again, that's very limited. Black and white copy if anybody fans of the line art. But there's one special one for one person. It's the chosen one, and you'll get drawn into the book. You become a character, and you get to choose your faction. If you want to be a purist, you want to be an animalist, or you want to be robotic, and we can work with you to try to come up with the coolest design that kind of fits your personality, and you'll be in the book in the future issue.
Could I have a set of robotic titties? Would that be all right?
You absolutely could. You could do whatever you want. But, you work with us and the artist.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're going to get going there, I would like telescopic titties.
That's actually an interesting. I don't know how does that even going to work though. You just see through the telescopes for nipples.
No, the telescope they protrude and move. I don't want to bring my neck down. So, I mean, if we're going there,
ox tentacles for tits,
exactly. Just
okay. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
I'm not supposed to write this book ever.
All right. Well, on that note, Arman, bro, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
the book looks great, dude.
Thanks for having me. Absolutely. Big fan of Pedro's and now of yours, Ginge, of course. And I can't wait for Pedro's book to come out. What is it? Is next month, right? Soon, a few days.
2 days. In 2 days, it's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm getting struck with the song. Oh, I have to change the song on the trailer. Which is very like I have permission from the band, but CD Baby was the ones like that carried the song like struck me. And now the band has to tell CD Baby like it's gonna take a while. So I have to choose another song now. So that's kind of unfortunate. But like the page ready, so yeah. we're good to go.
You're launching on Indiegogo, right, and not Kickstarter? Is that correct?
No, I'm launching only on Indiegogo, but that's a philosophical stance of my own. Like I have nothing against Kickstarter, I just don't use it because of where I stand.
Got it.
But I don't really criticize people who use Kickstarter. Like, dude, like do what you need to do, right?
Yeah. Cool. And how's and you're because you've been live or pre-launch page for almost over a month now, right?
Over 2 months. Over 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while. How's your pre-launch backers going, your followers?
It's moving. It's moving. Yeah. The thing is, like I've been at this like not really promoting, but being visible in the scene for over a year.
Yeah.
So some people know me. I'm new to others, and that really helped me. So the whole thing about promoting, because I know a lot of people say like you need your own show. Like no, it's not really that you need your own show. You need to be present. So participate in the chat. When there's like open streams, go there. Let people know who you are. Make them little jokey jokes. Like do your little dance. Like I'm a guitar player, so I'm just like whenever I go and they want to hear some music, like I'll play. So just like be present, and that will go a long way when it comes to promotion.
Definitely. I can't wait to it's just like you're saying exactly right. Like now I'm a fan of yours. I can't wait to read the book because I think you wrote it and did the art. So it looks
Ginge edited it and is doing the lettering, and he's doing an amazing job at it.
Thank you, buddy.
I hired him as an editor. I was like, I want to take a crack at lettering. I was like, hey, dude, do it. 'Cause I'm all about that car crash, But no, he aced it. I'm like, wow. No, he's really good. So guys, look at this. Is a new letter. Watch out, Eric Weathers. I didn't say that.
This book right here, though, this is literally what I used to learn. I just finished it, like open to start to finish, and it's a pretty useful book.
I read a lot myself. I remember because I first lettered Lost Magic and everything going forward now. But learning was there's so much. There was so much I didn't know, and it was
very cool.
Yeah, I was more familiar with Clip Studio. Actually, that was all that I was familiar with. But this book and Pedro also recommended that I use Illustrator. So I basically took a month to learn Illustrator, and that was it was kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, but it's I like Clip Studio still better.
Illustrator is not an intuitive software. It's really not. But once you get the mindset for it, it makes everything easier regarding lettering and everything vector based. Basically, it's Illustrator. So yeah, dude.
Okay, though, guys, Arman, I'm gonna bump you to the back real quick, buddy. If you want to hang out, we usually chat for a couple minutes here. Got him.
Well,
sorry.
That was horrible, man. You always.
Well, it's on purpose. It's a game.
I know.
No offense, Arman. I try to cut the guest off. It started as an accident, and then now it's just a sort of running gag. Anyways, great guest we had this week, everybody.
Oh, dude,
Yep, Arman, really business savvy guy. Kind of was just a good deep little bit of business knowledge there. So
and very prolific. Very prolific. It's like one of the guys like, you have kids? Yeah, how much? 9. God damn! Like, dude, he's busy. He's a busy guy.
All right, though, everybody. So we will go ahead and wrap this bitch up, and we will see y'all next Sunday on the Ginge and Pedro show.
Yes, sir.
Peace.